Madam, please start.
Okay. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to today's webinar session. Today's webinar speaker is Mrs. Ushasri, EGT Mathematics, TSMS Velimela, RC-Puram, Sangareddy. Ushasri Madam has already given us introduction and also the standard form of ellipse, its applications in the first two sessions. Today's session is the third session and the last session on ellipse chapter. Children, this chapter will be very useful for you. If you remember the notations, it will be helpful for you in your next chapter, hyperbola also. So once again, I welcome Ushasri Madam. And ma'am, please continue the session.
Thank you, Madam. Dear children, a warm welcome to you all to this session of ellipse. As Madam was telling, this is the last session of ellipse. Now, in the previous sessions, we have discussed various forms of an ellipse, isn't it? Based on the values of A and B. When A is greater than B, how you will be getting your major and minor axis, and then calculation of eccentricity, feet of the directrices, and so on. And also its conjugate form, that is when the case is A less than B. And we have seen two cases, that is one with center as 0, 0 and the center with h, k. In both the forms, we have seen the conjugate concept also, conjugate form of an ellipse. And then we have also discussed what is an auxiliary circle, right? What is a director circle? Then we have seen what is eccentric angle. Based on that, we have seen certain problems which will be generally asked in EAMCET exam. Okay, in from this topic, 3 to 4 questions will be appearing in EAMCET. And of course, in IPE exams, you will be getting 1 4-mark question and 1 2-mark question. It's not the matter of marks. It's the matter of learning the concept. Isn't it, children? So quickly, we will get into today's concept. The concept is, it is very familiar to you because the term tangent is well known to you by this time. Tangent, you have learned what it is in your class 10th, then in the chapter circles, then parabola also, isn't it? Now, in both the cases, circle and parabola, if S is equal to 0 is representing the given conic, then S1 is equal to 0 is representing a tangent equation. Isn't it? Here again, in ellipse also, it's the same concept. Now, what we are going to learn today? We are taking up problems on the concepts what we have discussed previously. And then we will try to get the conditions for a line to be a tangent or a normal, okay, to the ellipse, right? Now, before I go to the condition, I would like to mention equation of a tangent. When I talk of a tangent is a line, children. You need to remember that. Okay. This tangent, when I say it is a line, why that special name? Right. A tangent is a line which touches the given conic at one single point. Right. Now, when the point is given to you, you can write the tangent equation for a given conic by making use of the notations what we have seen in ellipse topic also, that is S1 equal to 0. What is S1? S11 we have seen, isn't it? So S1 is equal to 0 will give you the equation of a tangent. Then what is a normal? Normal is not a new word to you, isn't it? You're familiar with this word also. Normal is a line which is perpendicular to the tangent in simple words. If you know the tangent equation, you can also calculate a normal equation. Now, suppose if you have a tangent equation as ax plus by plus c equal to 0, a standard straight line equation, then the normal will be perpendicular to it. That means it should be in the form of bx minus ay plus some k equal to 0. Right? Based on this very logic, we will try to build up the concept of tangent and normal conditions for an ellipse. Okay. Now, the first problem which we are starting with is find the condition for the line Lx plus my plus n equal to 0 to be a tangent and Lx plus my plus n equal to 0 to be a normal to the ellipse x square by a square plus y square by b square is equal to 1. Right, children? Now, we will say let Lx plus my plus n equal to 0 be a tangent. At some point, we need to have a point. Now, the point what I'm taking it in a parametric form. We have discussed this parametric form. In parametric form, the point will be taken as a cos theta, comma b sin theta for an ellipse. This is what we have discussed in the previous session. Okay. Then it is on the ellipse x square by a square plus y square by b square equal to 1. Now, therefore, now your diagram will be looking like this. You have an ellipse equation. It has got center as the origin. Now, this ellipse we are representing with s equal to 0. You have a line Lx plus my plus n equal to 0, which is touching this ellipse at the point P of theta. This P of theta is nothing but a cos theta, comma b sin theta. Therefore, equation of the tangent, we will take it as x cos theta by a plus y sin theta by b equal to 1. How did we get this? By just taking xx1 by a square plus y1 by b square is equal to 1. In that, instead of x1, you substitute a cos theta, and instead of y1, you substitute b sin theta. Or in general, you need to remember this form to make the problem little easier, or in a quicker way, you can go for simplification. If you start with the substitution of x1 and y1, it takes little time, children, when you are going for any multiple choice questions. All right. So we will call this as equation number 1. Now, we will compare. What is this equation representing, children? This equation is representing the tangent. But what is that we have started with? We have started saying that Lx plus my plus n equal to 0 is a tangent. But in general, when you are given with a point P, at that point P, the tangent equation will be given by this. So, we will go for a comparison of equation 1 with Lx plus my plus n equal to 0. Now, this is what is our first equation we have seen. Then, Lx plus my plus n equal to 0 when you take, you can always write it as Lx plus my is equal to minus n. Now, in the intercept form, if you want to make the right hand side 1, then what we should do? We should multiply either sides with minus, we should divide either sides with minus n. Then we will have it as L by minus n into x plus m by minus n into y is equal to 1. Now, why did I make this right hand side as 1? Because when you compare this Lx plus my plus n equal to 0 with equation 1, equation 1 has got 1 on the right hand side. So it will be very comfortable for us to compare when we have right hand sides to be equal. So on comparison of this line with equation 1, okay, then what will be the value of cos theta by a? Just compare, children. You have it as cos theta by a into x. Here you have L by minus n into x. So L by minus n should be equal to cos theta by A. Likewise, sin theta by B can be taken as M by minus n. Okay, this is what we will be writing. Cos theta by A is equal to L by minus n, and sin theta by B is equal to M by minus n. Right? Then we will just calculate what is cos theta. When we go for cos theta, we will send this A to the numerator over here. So cos theta will be equal to AL by minus n. Similarly, sin theta will be equal to BM by minus n. Now, we will try to make use of the trigonometric identity cos square theta plus sin square theta equal to 1. For that, we will calculate cos square theta first and sin square theta also. So cos square theta will give you a square L square by n square, and sin square theta is nothing but b square n square by n square. Okay, this implies according to our trigonometric identity, we have cos square theta plus sin square theta. That means I should add these two values what we have, and it should be equated to 1 because the trigonometric identity is equal to 1. Now, when you take LCM, your LCM is n square. When LCM is n square, then on cross multiplication and simplifying the numerator, this is a simple one. They are like fractions, isn't it? So with same denominators. Therefore, we can conclude that a square L square plus b square m square is equal to n square will be the condition for any line Lx plus my plus n equal to 0 to be a tangent to the given ellipse x square by a square plus y square by b square is equal to 1. But still the problem is not completed, children. We need to go for the deduction, or we need to deduce the condition for the line Lx plus my plus n equal to 0 to be a normal. Okay. Now equation to a normal at the point theta is given by, you need to remember this as a formula, ax by cos theta minus by by sin theta is equal to a square minus b square. We will call it as equation number 2. Now suppose if you don't know this, then how to go with the condition? If you know the point, then you can always take a perpendicular line form for a tangent and then substitute that point to get the constant. In that way also you can deduce this equation. Okay. Now, as of now, we will take it as a formula itself so that it will be very convenient for us to solve the problems. Right. Now, we will try to compare this equation 2 with the equation Lx plus my plus n equal to 0. Now, just now, when I was deducing the condition for a tangent, we have simplified that Lx plus my plus n equal to 0 into L by minus n into x plus m by minus n into y is equal to 1. So we will compare equation 2 with this form of the line itself. When we do so, we will get it as a cos theta is equal to L by minus n. A by cos theta is equal to L by minus n. And minus b by sin theta is equal to m by minus n. Likewise, a square minus b square, both are constants on the right hand side. That should be equal to 1 when we compare. So from here, from this first equation, we will try to calculate what is cos theta. Okay, cos theta is nothing but minus a into n divided by L. On cross multiplication and simplifying, we will get this. And similarly, sin theta will be given by bn by m, because both the minus signs, when you multiply, it gives you plus. Then we will calculate what is cos square theta, which is equal to a square n square by L square, and sin square theta is nothing but b square n square by m square. And of course, a square minus b square whole square is also equal to 1. Now, according to the trigonometric identity, cos square theta plus sin square theta is equal to 1, isn't it? Now, we will go for addition of these two terms, children, and we will equate it to 1. What are the terms we have? A square n square by L square plus B square n square by M square, isn't it? So when you add, look at this, these are the two terms. When you are adding, just observe both the terms have got n square. So we are taking n square out. Then you will have it as a square by L square plus B square by M square. Now this should be equal to 1. But what is the value of 1? We got it as a square minus B square whole square. So we will just substitute that. Then just send this n square to the other side. Then you will get it as a square by L square plus B square by M square is equal to a square minus B square whole square divided by N square. This is the condition for any line Lx plus My plus N equal to 0 to be a normal to the given ellipse x square by A square plus Y square by B square is equal to 1. All right, so we will just write the conclusion part, children. This Lx plus My plus N equal to 0 will be a tangent when A square L square plus B square M square is equal to N square, and it becomes a normal, it will be a normal when A square by L square plus B square by M square is equal to A square minus B square whole square divided by N square. To what? To the ellipse x square by A square plus Y square by B square is equal to 1. All right. So you need to remember these two conditions. Not only this, children. Now, if at all you have a straight line equation in the form of y is equal to mx plus c, then the tangent equation will be given by y is equal to mx plus or minus root of a square m square plus b square. Now, when you know the slope of a line and when you know a square and b square values from the ellipse equation, and of course the constant c from the straight line equation y is equal to mx plus c, then you can write c square is equal to a square n square plus b square also. Okay, so either ways when you solve, it comes to the same point. Only thing is, it depends upon the convenience of the person who is solving the problem. According to the problem, we will try to make use of the different forms of the straight line. Now, having discussed this, the next problem which we are going to take is find the equations of the tangent and normal to the ellipse 2x square plus 3y square is equal to 11 at a point whose ordinate is 1. Now, what is the meaning of ordinate, children? Ordinate is nothing but, yes, you are right, it is y coordinate, isn't it? We don't know what is x coordinate, but we know we are given that the ordinate of the point is 1. Now, if you have an ellipse, on this ellipse, okay, we will just to take point P and Q. At both points, the ordinate will be 1. Did you observe? The x value will be changing. Here it will be positive and here it will be negative, of course. But the ordinate will be 1 itself on the ellipse, on the given ellipse. All right. So we will just see what is given to us. We are given with an ellipse 2x square plus 3y square is equal to 11. Then you are given with the ordinate of the point on the ellipse which is equal to 1. Then we will just assume that the point which is required here in this will be some point P with some x1 as the x coordinate and 1 of course will be our y coordinate because it is given that ordinate is 1. Okay, so we will say let P x1 comma 1 be a point on the ellipse. Then, see children, this is a basic concept. If a point is on a line or a conic, then that point should satisfy the given straight line equation or the conic equation, isn't it? This is what is the basic concept, what we have learned from our first year, right? So here what we will do, since the point is on the conic, we will just substitute x1 comma 1 in the conic equation. Here the conic equation what we have is the ellipse. Okay, so you have it as 2x1 square plus 3 into 1 square is equal to 11. 3 into 1 is 3. 11 minus 3, which gives you 8. So 2x1 square is equal to 8. That means x1 square is equal to 4. All right. This implies x1 is equal to plus or minus 2. That means x can take two values, that is plus 2 and minus 2, but y will remain same because that is the condition which is given to us. Therefore, the points on the ellipse are P and Q, what we have seen in the diagram, and the points are 2, 1 and minus 2, 1. All right, children. Now, having calculated or found the points where the coordinate is 1, we will quickly get into the calculation of equation of the tangent. Now, equation of the tangent at the point P, that is with the coordinates 2, 1 on S equal to 0. Now, when S is equal to 0 is the ellipse equation what you have. S1 equal to 0 will be the tangent equation. This is what we have seen, isn't it? So, S1 equal to 0, it means 2x x1 plus 3y y1 minus 11 should be equal to 0, isn't it? Now, instead of x1 and y1, you have it as 2 and 1. We have just substituted that. Then we will get it as 4x plus 3y minus 11 equal to 0. What is this, children? This is the tangent equation. Now, here I need to mention a point. When you are writing S1 equal to 0, you need not go for writing the given ellipse equation as x square by a square plus y square by b square equal to 1 always. Okay, if it is convenient for you to write S1 equal to 0 after converting the given ellipse equation in that form, then it's fine. Otherwise, you can go with this form also. Okay, then here we will calculate what is the slope of this line. Now, 3y is equal to minus 4x plus 11. That means the slope of the line will be minus 4 divided by 3. So here the slope of the tangent will be minus 4 by 3. Now, as I was mentioning when I was talking about tangent and a normal will be a line which will be perpendicular to the tangent, isn't it? So when a line is perpendicular to the other line, what is the condition we have seen in straight lines concept? Product of the slopes should be equal to minus 1. Then when product of slopes is equal to minus 1, then the second slope which is unknown to us will be calculated by taking minus 1 by m1, isn't it? That is what we have seen in straight lines. So when slope of the tangent is minus 4 by 3, then minus 1 by minus 4 by 3 gives you the slope of normal. Therefore, slope of the normal, we can say it is equal to 3 by 4. When slope is known, when point is known, you can very well write a straight line equation. Normal is also a straight line, isn't it? So what is so special about normal? It is perpendicular to the tangent. Okay, so equation of the tangent at P2, 1 is y minus y1 is equal to, instead of y1 you have 1, is equal to m. M is 3 by 4 because slope of the normal is 3 by 4 into x minus x1. Instead of x1, you have it as 2. Then if you simplify after cross multiplication, you will get it as 3x minus 4y minus 2 is equal to 0. Therefore, at the point 2 comma 1, we have seen what is a tangent and a normal. 4x plus 3y minus 11 equal to 0 and 3x minus 4y minus 2 equal to 0 are the equations of tangent and normal respectively at point 2 comma 1. Okay, but still we have one more point minus 2 comma 1. Now equation of the tangent at this point minus 2 comma 1 is again s1 is equal to 0. So here instead of x1 we will substitute as minus 2 and y1 we will substitute as 1. This implies 2x into minus 2 plus 3y into 1 minus 11 equal to 0. This implies minus 4x plus 3y minus 11 is equal to 0, or otherwise we can write it as 4x minus 3y plus 11 is equal to 0. Now here we have calculated what is the equation of a tangent. Then what is the slope of this tangent? It is nothing but 4 by 3. Just to say, write it in the form of y is equal to mx plus c form, children, you will get it. Okay, when slope of this tangent is 4 by 3, then what will be the slope of the normal? Since it is perpendicular to the tangent, it will be minus 1 by 4 by 3, which is nothing but minus 3 by 4. Now we know the normal slope of the normal and we know the point at which we need to take the normal. Therefore, equation to the normal at minus 2 comma 1 will be given by y minus 1 is equal to minus 3 by 4 into x plus 2. Now, when you simplify this, you will get it as minus 3x minus 4y minus 2 is equal to 0, or take minus common and you can write it as 3x plus 4y plus 2 is equal to 0. Got it, children? So this is one of the problems which gives you an idea how to calculate the tangent and normal when the point is not given directly, but a condition is given saying that the ordinate of the point is 1. Okay. Now we will look into another problem. This is a multiple choice question, children. A tangent to the ellipse 16x square plus 9y square is equal to 144, making equal intercepts on both the axes is. Now, the options are given to you. Now, first, let us try understanding the condition which is given to us. Here you are trying to get a tangent equation. As I was mentioning, tangent is a line which touches the given conic at one single point, right? So all the 4 options which are given to you are straight line equations only. Please observe it. Now, out of this, how to go for our choice, I mean the correct answer. He has given a condition that the tangent is making equal intercepts on both the axes. Now, when you talk of a straight line equation, when you write in the intercept form, x by a plus y by b equal to 1. X intercept and y intercept, you remember, children? Right? Now, here he says both the intercepts are equal. That means the x by whatever you are getting and y by the value what you are getting, both of them should be equal. Now, by looking at these equations, almost all equations have the same intercepts. Okay, then what should be our choice? Now for this one, we will go for the simplification, children. Equation of any tangent to the ellipse x square by a square plus y square by b square equal to 1 is you have a formula I was mentioning other than the condition what we have taken right in the beginning of this session. We have y is equal to mx plus or minus root of a square m square plus b square. Okay, this is a condition or this is a tangent equation to the ellipse when the tangent is in the form of y equal to mx plus c. Okay, now here to write with, now you should you don't know what is m. For time being we will keep m as it is, but do you know what are the values of a square and b square? Yes. How do we know? You are given that 16x square plus 9y square equal to 144. So that means x square by 9 plus y square by 16 is equal to 1 is your ellipse equation, right? That means a square is 9 and b square is 16. We will just substitute that first. Then we will get it as y is equal to mx plus or minus root of 9m square plus 16. Now children, after getting this condition, the next point what you need to know. How is the tangent? Tangent is making equal intercepts on the coordinate axis. Equal intercepts is possible when you have m is equal to -1. Okay, therefore, wherever you have m, you take it as -1. Then you will get it as y is equal to -x plus or minus -1 whole square will be 1 itself. So 1 into 9 is 9, 9 plus 16, 25 under root, isn't it? So you are getting it as y is equal to -x plus or minus 5. Then you can rewrite the equation as x plus y is equal to plus or minus 5. This is the equation of tangents. I'm mentioning it as tangents. Two tangents you are getting, children, one with plus and the other one with minus. Now, what is your question telling you? A tangent. That means one of the tangents. Now, what should be one of the tangents? Just look at this. If you take x, if you are placing x here itself, then it will be y is equal to minus x plus 5. It can be y equal to minus x minus 5 also. Then your answer, the answer for this question will be 3. Third option is correct. Now, in that case, why did I go with plus or minus 5? See, sometimes the questions will have multi-correct answers. Now, in that case, you need to know that you should have plus or minus sign here. Multi-correct means more than one correct answer, answers will be there in the option. Now, when you have more than one correct options, if you're selecting only one, then there is a chance of you losing the marks after knowing the answer. So in that case, you need to know how to simplify for all the possible solutions. Okay. Now, having said that, we will go with the next problem, children. Find the equation of tangent and normal to the ellipse x square plus 8y square is equal to 33 at -1, 2. Now, this is a simple question. You are given that the equation of the ellipse is x square plus 8y square is equal to 33. The equation of tangent to this ellipse will be s1 equal to 0, as we have seen. So x1 by a square plus y1 by b square equal to 1. Then equation of the ellipse, what we have seen, we are just carrying this. Then the point which is given to you is -1, 2. Therefore, equation of the tangent is x minus x into -1 plus 8y into 2 is equal to 33. You can write this way, or you can write x into x1 by a square plus y into y1 by b square equal to 1 for a form also. Got it, children? So here you have it as minus x plus 16y equal to 33. Or you can very well write it as x minus 16y plus 33 is equal to 0. Therefore, equation of the tangent, we are taking it as x minus 16y plus 33 equal to 0. Then what will be equation of the normal? As I was telling you, if ax plus by plus c equal to 0 is a tangent equation, then bx minus ay plus some k equal to 0 should be normal, according to our straight lines concept, which we have learned in our first year, right? So equation of the normal will be minus 16x minus y plus k equal to 0. Got it, children? Now, how is this equation? This equation is passing through the point minus 1 comma 2. That means when you substitute in this equation, it should satisfy. When it is satisfying, it will be very convenient for you to calculate the value of k. Now, minus 16 into minus 1 minus 2 plus k equal to 0. This implies k is equal to minus 14. Therefore, equation to the normal is minus 16x minus y minus 14 equal to 0, or otherwise you can write it as 16x plus y plus 14 is equal to 0. Got it, children? Now we'll go with the next problem. Find the equation of tangents to the ellipse 2x square plus y square is equal to 8, which are parallel to x minus 2y minus 4 equal to 0, and it is perpendicular to x plus y plus 2 is equal to 0. And the third case is which makes an angle pi by 4 with x-axis. So these are three different bits which are clubbed together. All right. Now we are given with the ellipse equation as 2x square plus y square equal to 8. So we can write it as x square by 4 plus y square by 8 is equal to 1. Now here clearly we can write a square equal to 4 and b square equal to 8. Then slope of the line x minus 2y minus 4 equal to 0. What is the slope of this line? Just calculate and check it, children. It should be m is equal to 1 by 2, isn't it? So we got the slope. Then equation of the tangent, it will be given by the formula. What is the formula for equation of the tangent? We have seen it as y is equal to mx plus or minus root of a square m square plus b square. Then we will just substitute the value of m, a square and b square in this formula. Then you will get it as y is equal to 1 by 2x plus or minus root of 4, a square is 4 and m square, that is 1 by 2 whole square is 1 by 4 plus 8. 4 and 4 they get cancelled, children. Then you will have it as 1 plus 8, which is 9 under root. 9 under root is 3. So you have it as y is equal to half into x plus or minus 3. Now on simplification, you will have it as x minus 2y plus or minus 6 is equal to 0. This is the required tangents equation. Tangents. Why? You have plus or minus, so two equations, one with plus and one with minus. Then the next case what we need to go with is slope of the line x plus y plus 2 equal to 0 is m is equal to minus 1. Slope is minus 1. Then slope of the line which is perpendicular to this should be what? It should be equal to 1. Minus 1 by 1. It should be equal to 1, isn't it? Now, slope of the line which is perpendicular to the above line will be equal to 1. Therefore, in this case, the equation to the tangent will be y is equal to mx plus or minus root of a square m square plus b square. We will take this condition, and of course, the value of m will be 1, a square will be 4, and b square will be 8. Then we'll have it as y is equal to 1 into x plus or minus root of 4 into 1 square plus 8. Got it, children? This is 12 under root. Root 12 is nothing but 2 root 3. Therefore, we can write it as y is equal to x plus or minus root 12, or you can write it as x minus y plus or minus 2 root 3 is equal to 0. Then the third case, what he has given is the angle made by the line with the x-axis is theta is equal to pi by 4. Now, when theta is pi by 4, slope will be calculated by calculating tan theta. That is, m is equal to tan pi by 4, which is equal to 1. Tan pi by 4, tan 45, which is equal to 1. Okay, then equation of the tangent in this case will be given by y is equal to mx, that is 1 into x, then plus or minus root of a square is 4 and b square is 8 in this problem. So 4 into 1 square plus 8, again this is 4 plus 8, root 12, isn't it? So you have it as y is equal to x plus or minus root 12, that is x minus y plus or minus 2 root 3 equal to 0. In both these cases, the equation of tangents is same. Right? Now, on the other day, I made a mention of director circle. There I said the director circle will be concentric to the ellipse s is equal to 0, right? And its equation will be x square plus y square is equal to a square plus b square. Not only that, I made a mention of one more statement or the definition of a directed circle that we will try to prove today. Okay, show that the points of intersection of the perpendicular tangents to an ellipse lie on the circle. Now, when they lie on a circle, that circle is nothing but your director circle. Got it? So that is what we are going to prove today. So let the equation of the ellipse be x square by a square plus y square by b square equal to 1. We are just taking a general ellipse equation. Okay, then equation to the tangent of this ellipse will be given by y is equal to mx plus or minus root of a square m square plus b square. Extensively, we have used this in the previous problems. Now, I can rewrite this equation of tangent as y minus mx is equal to plus or minus root of a square m square plus b square. We will call it as equation number 1. Then we will take p x1 comma y1 be a point on the locus. Now, this is your ellipse equation with center 0 comma 0. Now you are taking a point p x1 comma y1. From this point, when you are taking the tangents, what type of tangents are they? They are perpendicular tangents. These two perpendicular tangents are meeting at one point at an arbitrary point P. Now, can we get this type of points further for this ellipse? Yes, we can get how many ever points you have for each pair, one point of intersection will be we can get 1 point of intersection for one pair of tangents, and we are going to pick such tangents which are perpendicular to each other. When they are perpendicular, all such point of intersections, when you join, then the circle which is obtained will be a director circle. This is what we are going to prove. Okay, so we have taken the point p x1 comma y1. If equation 1 passes through p x1 comma y1, then that point should satisfy the equation as I was mentioning earlier. So y1 minus mx1 is equal to plus or minus root of a square m square plus b square. Got it, children? Now, we will square this equation on either sides. When we do so, we will get it as y1 minus mx1 whole square is equal to plus or minus root of a square m square plus b square whole square. Okay. Now let us expand this. When we expand, we will get it as y1 square plus m square x1 square minus 2m x1 y1 by taking a minus b whole square formula. And here plus or minus, in either case when you take square it will be plus, and when you square this root gets cancelled, so you will be left with what? We are left with a square m square plus b square. Now rearrange these terms. When we rearrange, first we will try taking m square terms. How many m square terms you have here, children? 2m square terms. Look at this, m square x1 square, a square m square. Now shift this a square m square this side and take m square common. Then you will get it as x1 square minus a square into m square. Now we are not disturbing this term. We will just arrange the constants and variables in this term. That is 2x1 y1 into m. Then you have plus y1 square minus b square is equal to 0. We have tried to write this equation in one standard form. Can you recollect what this equation is representing? Just cast your mind a little back, then you will you will understand what exactly it is. Yes, you are right. It is a quadratic equation. It is a quadratic equation in terms of m. Okay. Now, if it is a quadratic equation, it should have two roots. Now, we will assume, what is m, children? M is representing slope, right? Now, let us assume this equation 1 has got two roots, m1 and m2. Now, when I say it is a quadratic equation and two roots are m1 and m2, then definitely we can calculate sum of the roots and product of the roots. Isn't it? Now, what is the point we have started saying right in the beginning? The two tangents are perpendicular to each other. That means the equation 1, when it has got two slopes, it means what? It is representing two different equations, two different tangent equations. Now, when the tangents are perpendicular to each other, then the product of their slopes should be equal to -1. Now, when product of m1 and m2, product of two roots will be given by the formula c by a. You remember? Right? So we will apply that formula over here. We will say m1, m2 represent the slopes of the tangents. So here the tangents are at right angles to each other. It means that m1, m2 should be equal to -1, as I was mentioning. So product of the slopes or product of the roots here in terms of a quadratic equation will be given by y1 square minus b square by x1 square minus a square. This is c, this is a, according to the standard form of a quadratic equation. Got it, children? So now we will equate, when we equate it to -1 and simplify, you will have it as minus x1 square plus a square is equal to y1 square minus b square. Now rearrange this. X1 square plus y1 square is equal to a square plus b square. This is a locus, isn't it? Locus of point P x1 comma y1. Just replace x1 and y1 with x and y. You will get the general form of the circle equation. That is, excuse me, x square plus y square is equal to a square plus b square. What is this representing? It is representing a directed circle. Right? So we can conclude saying that locus of the point of intersection of all the perpendicular tangents drawn to a given ellipse will be representing a directed circle which is also concentric to the given ellipse. Right. Now, quickly, based on this, we will try to see one multiple choice question. When I say multiple choice question, you need to understand that it is a question which will be posed to you in the competitive exams like MCET and IIT mains. The locus of point of intersection of perpendicular tangents to the ellipse x minus 1 whole square by 16 plus y minus 2 whole square by 9 equal to 1 is. Now just observe this, children. The ellipse equation what you have has got a center some h comma k. Then what is the center here? It is 1 comma 2. Please keep that in mind. Okay. And of course, A and B, when you compare, A is greater than B because here 16 is A square. So A is 4 and B is 3. Now the options, 4 options are given to you. You can answer this directly if you know, if you can understand the question carefully. Locus of point of intersection of perpendicular tangents. What does it represent? Just tell me. It should be a director circle. Now, when it is a director circle, just look at the statement what we have proved just now. Isn't it? Now, a director circle, simply it is a square plus b square. Just take it. That's it. Here the center is 1 comma 2. Therefore, x minus 1 whole square and y minus 2 whole square will not get disturbed. They will be taken as it is. And then a square is 16 plus b square is 9, which is equal to 25. Is it not a simple one? If you can remember this condition, right? So the answer for this is B. Okay, now having seen this, we will look into another problem. A circle of radius 4 is concentric with the ellipse 3x square plus 13y square is equal to 78. Then prove that a common tangent is inclined to the major axis at an angle pi by 4. Right, we will try understand this question step by step. Okay, now first what is given to us? You are given with an ellipse. 3x square plus 13y square is equal to 78. Let us write it in the standard form. When you do so, it will be x square by 78 by 3, which is 26, plus y square by 78 by 13, which is 6, equal to 0. We will just name it as equation number 1. Clearly, we can say a square is equal to 26 and b square is equal to 6. Now, what is the center of this ellipse? It should be 0, 0 only. Isn't it? Then equation of the concentric circle with radius 4. What is concentric? Circle is concentric. With what? With the ellipse. That means center of the circle and the ellipse both are same. Then the center of the circle is also 0, 0. When center of the circle is 0, 0, what is that a general equation, children? For of a circle with center 0, 0, it is x square plus y square equal to r square. Radius is given as 4. So we can write it as x square plus y square equal to 16. We will call it as equation number 2. Right? Now, prove that a tangent, common tangent, is inclined to the major axis at an angle pi by 4. Okay, this is our concept now. Okay. Equation of a tangent at a point theta on the circle. When I say it is parametric form of a circle, it is given as x cos theta plus y sin theta is equal to r. Then radius is given as 4. So we will replace r with 4. Then we can rewrite the equation as y sin theta is equal to 4 minus x cos theta. We will try to write this in the form of y is equal to mx plus c. When we do so, we will get it as y is equal to minus cos theta by sin theta into x plus 4 by this sin theta. So is it in the form of y is equal to mx plus c? Right? Okay. So here what is m? M is nothing but minus cos theta by sin theta, and c is 4 by sin theta. Now, y is equal to mx plus c will be a tangent when I was mentioning this point in the beginning of the session, that is c square is equal to a square m square plus b square. This is the reason why we are getting the tangent equation as y is equal to mx plus or minus root of a square m square plus b square. Look at this, root of this is nothing but plus or minus root of this. Okay, so now we will just substitute what all values we know. Instead of c, we will take it as 4 by sin theta whole square. A value of a square is 26, b square is 6, m is minus cos theta by sin theta. Just we have substituted this. When we substitute, now 4 by sin theta whole square, it is 16 by sin theta, sin square theta. This is equal to 26 cos square theta plus 6 sin square theta by sin square theta by taking LCM. Then sin square theta on either sides of the equality in the denominator, they get cancelled. Then you will have it as 26 cos square theta plus 6 sin square theta is equal to 16. Now, we will try to convert this equation in terms of one single trigonometric ratio. Now, instead of cos square theta, we will replace it as 1 minus sin square theta. When we do, how did we get this? By trigonometric identity. By this time, you are very familiar, children. I know that. Okay, so it is nothing but, look at this, minus 26 sin square theta plus 6 sin square theta. It is minus 20 sin square theta. After taking minus common and then simplifying, you will get 20 sin square theta. And of course, 26 minus 16, which is 10. Okay, so sin square theta is equal to 10 by 20, which is 1 by 2. Sin theta will be 1 by root 2, or theta is equal to pi by 4. Therefore, the common tangent is inclined to the major axis at an angle pi by 4. This is what we have deduced. Okay, now in the previous session again, I was mentioning something regarding auxiliary circle. There we have seen auxiliary circle, it is a circle described on the major axis of the ellipse with diameter as the major axis. Then at that time, I was mentioning another statement. What is that? The locus of feet of the perpendiculars drawn from foci of the ellipse onto any tangent will be concentric to the ellipse, and that will be an auxiliary circle. The same thing we are trying to prove today. Show that the locus of feet of the perpendiculars drawn from the foci to any tangent of the ellipse is the auxiliary circle. This is another definition. Okay, now let us assume that the ellipse equation is x square by a square plus y square by b square equal to 1. Okay, now this is the ellipse with the two foci, that is S and S dash. You have a tangent. Now from S, you are dropping a perpendicular onto that tangent, and we are taking the foot of this perpendicular as L. Similarly, you are dropping a perpendicular from S dash onto this line, and the foot of this perpendicular will be taken as L dash. Right, children? Now, all such foot of the perpendiculars, when you join, you are going to get an auxiliary circle. This is what the statement says. Now, equation of the tangent to the ellipse. We have seen this, isn't it? Y is equal to mx plus or minus root of a square m square plus b square. Now, we will rearrange this as y minus mx is equal to plus or minus root of a square m square plus b square, and we will call it as equation number 1. Then, like what we did in the previous problem. Now, what is the slope of the line perpendicular to equation 1? This is equation 1. Slope of the line perpendicular to this equation will be -1 by m. Slope of this line is m. So line perpendicular to this will have a slope as -1 by m. This is slope of tangent. This is the line which is perpendicular to the tangent, and from where we are taking that, from one of the focus. And of course, two foci. From two foci, we are dropping onto the tangent. Okay. Then equation 1 passes through plus or minus AE comma 0. What is this AE comma 0, children? AE comma 0 is nothing but the coordinates of the foci, plus or minus AE comma 0. So y minus equation of the line perpendicular to equation 1 will be, I would like to make a correction, children. This is not equation 1, but the required equation is passing through the foci. Equation of the perpendiculars dropped onto the tangent. Okay, so here it will be y minus 0 is equal to -1 by m, which is nothing but the slope, into x plus or minus AE. So this is nothing but y minus 0 is of course y. So go for cross multiplication. M into y is equal to minus x plus or minus AE, or you can rearrange it as x plus m into y is equal to plus or minus AE. We will call this as equation number 2. Now, let x1 comma y1 be a point of intersection of equation 1 and 2, children. Then when x1 and y1, x1 comma y1 is a point of intersection of both, that means it should satisfy both the equations. That's the reason why we have taken y1 minus mx1 is equal to plus or minus root of a square m square plus b square. Not only that, you will have my1 plus x1 is equal to plus or minus ae. Then you go for squaring on both sides of both the equations. Then when you do that, you will have it as y1 minus mx1 whole square is equal to plus or minus root of a square m square plus b square whole square. And my1 plus x1 whole square is equal to plus or minus ae whole square. Now we'll carry this last statement. Now, after squaring, we will add both the equations. Then what is that we will be getting? y1 minus mx1 whole square plus my1 plus x1 whole square. It will be equal to plus or minus root of a square m square plus b square whole square plus plus or minus ae whole square. Of course, when you square this plus or minus, it becomes plus only. We will expand bracket by bracket just to avoid confusion. Now, the first one, when we expand this, we'll have it as y1 square plus m square x1 square minus 2m x1 y1. Then m square y1 square plus x square plus 2m x1 y1. Which is equal to, now here the square root gets cancelled, children. You will have it as a square m square plus b square. And of course here plus or minus, it also becomes positive. So a square e square. Further we will simplify, just minus 2 mx1 y1 and plus 2 mx1 y1, they get cancelled. Then mx1 square x1 square. We will take both of them, and when we can take x1 square common, we will get it as m square plus 1. Likewise, y1 square and m square y1 square. From both the terms, you can take y1 square common. Then you can write it as y1 square into m square plus 1. Okay, then this is equal to a square m square plus, instead of b square, the basic formula, what is it? A square into 1 minus e square plus a square e square. Further, we can expand this bracket by taking a square minus a square e square. Okay, where remaining terms are same, children. So these two terms, they get cancelled. All right, then further, m square plus 1 is common in both the terms. So we will take common and we will write it as x1 square plus y1 square. And here again on the right hand side, I can take a square common. Then you'll have it as m square plus 1. Both m square plus 1 on either sides of the equality, they get cancelled. So you will have it as x1 square plus y1 square equal to a square. Now this implies x1 square plus y1 square equal to a square. Since it is locus, we can always replace x1 y1 with xy, and we will write it as x square plus y square equal to a square, which is an auxiliary circle equation. Auxiliary circle equation. Now, the last problem which we are going to deal is an important one, from concept point of view, children. Now, look at this. The point of intersection of two tangents to the ellipse 2x square plus 3y square equal to 6 at the ends of the lattice rectum is, you are given with some options. Now, first, since it is a multiple choice question, you need to have some shortcuts too, because you need to save your time when you are attempting any competitive exam. But before knowing the answer in a shortest way possible, we will try to understand the meaning of the problem. Then finally, we will see how we can solve it in a minute or in few seconds, right? Now, you are given with an ellipse equation 2x square plus 3y square equal to 6. Then you can very well write it in the standard form as x square by 3 plus y square by 2 equal to 1. Okay, then a square and b square, we can very well write it as 3 and 2. This implies a is root 3 and b is root 2. Clearly root 3 is a bigger value than root 2. Then b square is nothing but a square into 1 minus e square. This also you know. From this you can very well calculate what is e square. E can be taken as 1 by root 3. You can simplify it and check it out. Now what exactly is the problem? You are given with an ellipse. You have a focus. We'll call it as S. Then what is lattice rectum, children? Lattice rectum is a focal chord which is perpendicular to the major axis, isn't it? So we have the lattice rectum. At the ends of the lattice rectum, you are taking the tangents. Okay, now he is asking you to find the point of intersection of these two tangents. These two tangents are meeting at one point. What is the point of intersection of this? This is the question. Okay, right. Now this is the diagram what we have. So can we write focus? Focus is AE comma 0. So it should be root 3 into 1 by root 3. A is root 3, right? So you will have it as 1 comma 0. Then ends of the lattice rectum, we have the formula that is AE comma plus or minus b square by A. So you can write it as 1 comma plus or minus b square is 2, 2 by root 3. Root 3 is A. Then tangent at 1 comma 2 by root 3 to the ellipse 2x square plus 3y square equal to 6 is, you can write tangent equation at a point by taking S1 equal to 0, right? So 2x into 1 plus 3y into 2 by root 3 is equal to 6. Simplify it, children, by taking LCM and cross multiplication. Then you will have it as 2 root 3x plus 6y is equal to 6 root 3. We will call it as equation 1. Then equation of the tangent at 1 comma minus 2 by root 3 to the ellipse, given ellipse, it will be what? 2x into 1 plus 3y into minus 2 by root 3 is equal to 6. This implies 2 root 3x minus 6y is equal to 6 root 3. We will call it as equation number 2. Then we will solve equation 1 and 2. First, we will take equation 1 and equation 2. You know how to solve. So, plus 6y and minus 6y, they get cancelled. Then you will have 4 root 3x is equal to 12 root 3. On either sides, you can cancel root 3, and 4 and 12 also can be cancelled, and x should be equal to 3. When x is 3, if you substitute in one of the equations, you will get it as y equal to 0. Therefore, the point of intersection of tangents at the ends of the latus rectum of the given ellipse is 3, 0. 3, 0 is one of the options. But did we not go a very long way in solving this problem? Can you afford so much of time in your competitive exam? No. But I just wanted you to know the concept or what exactly is the meaning of the problem. That is the reason why I have taken so lengthy solution for this. But now, at one shot, you can complete this problem. What is it? The point of intersection of the tangents drawn at the ends of a latus rectum will be nothing but feet of the directrix. Feet of the directrix. Now, what is feet of the directrix, children? It is nothing but a by e comma 0. Simply, if you know what are the coordinates of the feet of the directrix, in the beginning of the ellipse topic, we have seen what will be the feet of the directrices and all, isn't it? There we have seen it is a by e comma 0. What is a? What is e? You know. Once you know a and e, just substitute. A is root 3, e is 1 by root 3. So root 3 by 1 by root 3, which is nothing but 3, 0. Therefore, your answer is A. Got it? So actually, when you are understanding the concept, you can go in length for a given problem. But when you are attempting any competitive exam, you should make use of this type of things. This is it not very simple, children? Point of intersection here, when you take tangents drawn at the ends of the latus rectum, it is nothing but feet of the directrix. That is a by e comma 0. Therefore, the answer is A. I'm sure that you have followed the concept of ellipse thoroughly, and I'm sure that you will solve all the problems which are there in your textbook. Not only that, you will go for some multiple choice questions also, and go preparing for your competitive exams too. With this optimism, I leave some practice questions for you children. You can please take a screenshot of these questions and see to it that you are solving without fail. Okay? Thank you.
Thank you, Ushasri madam.
Thank
you very much. You have given extra information regarding how to solve the ellipse in a multiple choice way. So definitely this will be very useful for the students to appear for their EAMCET examinations. So children, take this opportunity and watch the video again so that you become familiar with the problems, how to solve on ellipse. Thank you, Ushasri madam.
Madam, thank you.
And Ushasri madam, hope the next session, this will be followed by hyperbola.
Yes, madam.
So children, the next session of Ushasri madam will be hyperbola. It starts in the next week with lesson 1 of hyperbola. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.